End of June 2016. The big trip begins tomorrow. So far, so good. See parts 1 and part 2 for our trip through Montana and Wyoming last year. We came from there. We're going there. Here we are, about an hour outside of Rawlins. We're gonna suit up for rain. We left Rawlins after 4:30 dinner at Cappy's restaurant, and just like last year, we kinda got lost finding our way out of town. Unlike last year, it wasn't raining at this part of the ride. And here is the exact spot where my bike quit last year in a downpour, and where we spent the night. Our luck was much better this time. No rain, no wind, no sloppy mud. We decided that we would ride under the edge of those gray clouds, hoping to get into the forest to find a campsite for the night. We picked the third dispersed campsite we found. So how was your day today, Mike?
My day was just fantastic. We're finally into the dirt. And the way we, threaded the needle.
In a day with rain suits. We end it with an actual sunset.
We had rain suits on, didn't we?
We did, sir.
I got paranoid.
You put a rain suit on.
Yeah.
As we left Wyoming, we learned what they meant by the Great Continental Divide Trail. This day saw us ride all the way from north of Slater, Colorado to Lynx Pass. Now, Slater is really nothing more than a post office. And we missed the left turn there that got us back onto the dirt trail, so we had to backtrack a bit. As the day progressed, it got damp and it started to rain and the road became muddy and greasy. It was a lot of fun, but you had to pay attention. Now, we had the choice of taking the Columbine alternate, but we chose to stay on the main route, and I'm glad we did. It was some of the best riding of the entire trip. It was also some of the most challenging riding as well, as the roads were rough, narrow, muddy, and at times extremely rocky. Forest Road 42 was an amazing ride. It began as a well-graded smooth back road, but it quickly became a primitive back road Jeep or 4x4 only trail. We spent a lot of our time standing up on the pegs and attacking the route aggressively. You can kind of get an idea of the climb if you look at the angle the trees make where they hit the ground. Even though the GoPro flattens out the hills, it didn't flatten it out completely for this ride. Oh man, this was so much fun. This might well have been my favorite ride of the entire trip. A nice loose grip on the handlebars and looking for the best part of the trail works so well. This part of the trail could easily be impassable in the pouring rain. I, for one, am glad it wasn't raining that way. As the climb got towards the end, the hill got steeper, and it got a lot more fun. I leaned over the handlebars, and I twisted the throttle, and I smiled. I kept saying to myself, this is what I signed up for. when you're really working the bike, you're standing on the pegs and you're climbing and you're aggressive and you're pulling on the throttle. You don't think about what could happen if it goes bad. You're in the zone and it just feels so good, and when you nail it, it's one of the best feelings in the world. This was one of those moments. This was what I signed up for. And then we made a mistake. We went left when we should have gone right, and it ended in a little tiny minor dump. Well, there you go, Canada Day. You'll notice we're down one windscreen and one mirror. We thought we had to go up there. We should have gone that way. For the rest of the day, we rode in the rain past Steamboat Lake, through Clark and Steamboat Springs, and then up and over Lynx Pass, where we spent a wet night. Well, here we are, getting dressed up the morning after the day that was. Word of the day, rain. Rain, rain, rain.
Go away, little Mikey wants to play.
Route National Forest. Not much mud. Notice those fresh tire tracks? Those are made by two guys on KLRs that we sat around the campfire with last night at Lynx Pass. They were so much fun. They had a big bonfire, helped us dry out our goods, and we kept seeing their tracks for the next day. Now this part of the video covers the next morning's ride from Lynx Pass to Radium, Colorado. This was an amazing few hours of riding. So I'm sharing a big chunk of it with you viewers. I hope it brings a smile to your face as you tilt your head and lean through the corners like I do. So here I'm approaching the height of land before we start to drop towards Radium. You can see we entered the clouds and it hides the steep drop to our left. From this point all the way down to the recreation center at Radium, the road was damp and kind of slippery, but enough traction that you could give a twist to the throttle coming out of the corners and enjoy every single turn as you could set that rear tire sliding just a little bit. I so enjoyed this ride. Just crossed the Colorado River at Radium. Radium Recreation Site. Great morning ride. Lunch, Kremling, Colorado, at the Moose Cafe. Look what's coming. And it rained all the way to Breckenridge.
Driving out of Breckenridge. Not raining, driving. That's the good thing. Now we're the Breckenridge Ski Hill.
As we began to climb the Boreas Pass road, it started to rain again, and the road got slimy and slippery and wet. Now, being it was the July 4th weekend, there were a lot of filled campsites and an awful lot of vehicular traffic on the road, even though the weather sucked.
Well, if you can hear me, raining now. Again, we're over the pass. Relatively wet.
Sadly, oncoming vehicles didn't slow down. They splashed us and we got soaked. These are some photos taken in the restaurant in Hartselle, Colorado, where we spent the night sleeping in that abandoned railway station. Boy, it was nice to pretend to get out of the rain. We were warned that the trail south of Hartselle was worse than what we'd been on north, so we took the highway and rejoined the trail in Salida.
Ready toward Marshall Pass. It just stopped raining. It's a blue sky. We're back on gravel. Let's see what happens.
As we climbed Marshall Pass, we went by an awful lot of holiday camping traffic. And of course, the weather deteriorated the higher we went.
I'm going to put my jacket on.
And that was a good decision, as it started to drizzle as we climbed. We did enjoy it, though.
10,842 feet. And that guy on the bicycle's got to do it, so he's crazier than we are. And see, the storm ends way over there.
And it did, too.
We just walked by some snow, or rode by some snow.
In the distance, you can see Sargent's, Colorado, waiting for us.
So here's Mike's 4:30 dinner in Sargent.
It's a dog with pulled pork on it and some other undefined
Cheese, man,
cheese, I guess.
cheese.
Cheese. And,
So you're eating healthy.
no.
Back on the dirt road. Slimiest road we've had on the trip so far. First gear. Yeah.
Here we see Mike's bike succumb to the mud. So thick, it gummed up between his front tire and the fender. So the wheel just wouldn't turn anymore, and we had to take the fender off to escape. We went back and spent the night at Sargent's, Colorado.
This is as far as we got yesterday.
Then the road got boring, other than for the odd, swerving bicyclist. Once we entered the Gunnison National Forest, the road got interesting again.
This is pleasant. This road would have been itchy last night.
From here, we approached the Great Plains of North America, and the landscape opened up, the riding got faster, we even had some pavement on Highway 114 again. We passed through La Garita, Del Norte, and Summitville as we tried to skirt that huge big storm you can see right there.
This is over from Summitville, south of Del Norte. Missed all the cool shit up there. Sorry, world. Ready? Well, it's fucking raining and cold at the summit. Place called Summitville. Big old mine. Abandoned buildings. No trees. Snow. Big piles of snow. We do have our rain suits on. So we've been rained on for about the last hour. The road's been a lot like this, except weather. We were hoping to skirt the front of a big, evil-looking storm, and we might have been successful.
As this video comes to an end, let me tell you, we spent our last night in Colorado in the backyard of some nice gentleman's house in Horka.